Hey guys, the other day I posted about three super helpful skills that I found in Claude. However, on LinkedIn in the post, it is really hard to capture more in-depth kind of reasons behind them. So in this video, I will explain a bit about those reasons. And I think the first and most fascinating one is the dream skill. So basically, humans and AI, they share some similarities. As humans, we spend 1/3 of our time asleep. The world record of staying awake is only a few days. So clearly it is very important. Yet in AI, we don't have this like stage yet. Claude, or the company behind it, Anthropic, is working on a dream state. And storage is not the issue. Storage nowadays is super cheap. You can store like 1,000 gigabytes for only a few euros per month. I think it's the token cost. So every time you prompt your AI, you want to give it the context that is the most relevant to the model. And context is expensive. And not only expensive in terms of real euro cost, it's also expensive in terms of time and the possibility of making mistakes. So there is a skill that will kind of like the same way as we humans work, apply a dream stage in which we process all the lessons learned from the day, um, synthesize it, and then store the relevant parts in the long-term brain, long-term storage. There's also another stage in sleeping and in dreaming that is cleaning up the long-term storage. Some things, they just are not that relevant anymore, and it is okay to forget them or store them in like this like long-term storage. I think it's fascinating. So there's this like decaying function. So the more things that are currently relevant will show up high in the memory, and I think this is going to be a crucial kind of like stepping stone to get to the next level of AI. So that's the first one, dream skill. The second one is called the humanizer skill. And in the current form, AI models, they generate basically sentences that are clearly written by AI. I think most of the learning data, like the training data, is written in English. So therefore, it thinks in English. You can see a lot of anglicisms. There's of course the infamous M dash, like this like long hyphen that is used throughout literature and in a lot of like printing press, which no real user will ever type on its own, but it's everywhere. And then also there are some, I think it stems from the way the model is fed with feedback during the training process, a bit of like a cadence in how it writes. The humanizer skill, on the other hand, takes the output of an AI model and then applies different rules to make it sound like it is written by a human. And of course, don't get me wrong, you want to be clear to signal to the user that something is automatically written. So don't pretend that you have written it by yourself, whereas you just use the humanizer skill. But in other contexts, it actually improves the readability on the receiving end from your message, and it just makes it feel more natural. So cool skill to also add to your Claude or other agent. And then the third skill that I would recommend using is it's called the Hofstee 6D skill. It's not related, but basically the same limitations that I just alluded to with the humanizer skill applies to how AI, like OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, communicate in a very American way. And we're in Europe and every culture is different. So the way I approach a person in Germany is different from the way I approach a person in the UK. And there's some super interesting research done by this guy, I think he worked at IBM, that ranks different cultures on 6 different dimensions. And one dimension would be hierarchy. Is the way society is organized very egalitarian, or is there like a clear like authority at the top? Another one is if you are unsure, do you signal the uncertainty, or are you just are you just nodding your head, pretending that everything is is okay. I did my like second master degree in Singapore, and I think there you see basically a combination of all these different global cultures, and the way we did group projects was so different. So that's another dimension. So basically, if you load this like skill in Claude, it also has a little table where it can find the different scores of those 6 dimensions per country, and it will adjust the communication style accordingly. And I think it makes it much more natural. Don't communicate only in this like AI US focused way. So yeah, those are the top 3 skills for now. In summary, dream skill, humanizer skill, and this like cultural 6 dimensions skill. I'm also curious what you have found online. All right, see you next time. Ciao, ciao.